Coming up on Mountain News this morning, Governor Beshear announces 11 deaths in Kentucky that are related to the recent winter storm. Plus, we hear from the family of an inmate who died after officials say he was trying to remove ice and snow.
Dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News This Morning.
Welcome to Mountain News This Morning. I'm McKinley Calandrino here with you on this Thursday, January 29th. The time is now at 5:30. Let's check in with meteorologist Megan Desmall for a look at your forecast this morning. Megan, I heard we might have a chance of snow this weekend.
That's exactly right. There is a chance of snow that is returning this weekend, mostly for your Friday time frame, and from now until this weekend, we're just dealing with those very cold temperatures. So be aware as you're heading out this morning. Still some ice out and about, as not everyone has seen melting of this past weekend's snow. We're looking at 9 degrees right now in Moorhead, 7 in Louisa. By the afternoon, we'll be warming into a mixture of the mid to upper 20s for most folks and the low 30s for our far southern counties. Still very cold all day long, but what we're seeing right now is just a little bit of clouds here and there, and we'll stay dry for your Thursday. It's not until we head into your Friday that some of those chances of snow start to enter into the forecast. It'll start Friday morning, continuing throughout the day and concluding as you're finishing off your Saturday. But in terms of the next 12 hours, again, you're not going to expect any of that snow chance. Nice and dry for today. Partly cloudy skies to start off and mostly cloudy skies as that sun is setting around 5:54 p.m. McKinley.
Thank you, Megan. In Carter County, first responders rescued a woman out of a burning home yesterday morning. One neighbor who lives near where the fire occurred says he was returning home a little before 11 a.m. and he saw smoke coming out of the house on Christie Drive in Grayson and immediately called 911. Fire crews say the woman who lived in the home was bedridden. First responders pulled the woman out of the home on her mattress as the home was burning. The neighbor says it was a terrifying situation.
It's completely terrible. I mean, obviously I don't know for sure like all of her medical history and her like the information she had, but I mean, she's bedridden, house is in flames, smoke coming out of the whole house. I mean, I don't know. I'll be terrified.
Firefighters say they have not confirmed how the fire started, but it appeared it started near a kerosene heater. And Governor Beshear confirmed 11 people have died as a result of the winter storm, and several of those are in eastern and southern Kentucky. 3 deaths were out of Johnson County, as well as 1 from Pulaski County. Of course, we reported on Betty Veach out of Whitley County and Marvin Knuckles, the inmate in Morgan County. And we'll have just more about him in just a few moments. Governor Beshear shared that the Team Kentucky Storm Relief Fund will offer those families money in order to pay for their funerals. There are still about 6,000 people without power in Kentucky. The governor said it might take up to a week to get the lights and heats back on. So he urges people to seek out the resources they need.
That we are hearing it might be up to a week before power is fully restored for all those customers. What that means is if you're in that area, you need to prepare. You need to know where your warming center is. You need to be staying with family. You just need to take all the steps necessary to make sure you get through this, even if it's prolonged, because it is going to be dangerously cold, especially at night.
Right now, there are 117 warming centers open across the Commonwealth. A full map of those locations is available online at kym.ky.org. Now back to one of those weather-related deaths. An inmate who was working at the Eastern Kentucky Correctional Complex in West Liberty died following a head injury after officials say he was trying to remove ice and snow. I spoke to family members who do not understand how this could have happened. On Tuesday, Marvin Knuckles, an inmate at the Eastern Kentucky Correctional Complex in West Liberty, tragically died. Knuckles was working with a group of inmates to remove ice and snow debris from the correctional center when he reportedly fell and hit his head. He was taken to the Morgan County ARH, where he was pronounced dead at approximately 7:30 a.m.
We just don't understand. Me and my sister and my girls don't, and my husband, we just don't understand. What happened?
Rita Alexander says Marvin was her baby brother, and she said she received the news early Tuesday morning through a voicemail from the chaplain.
I called the prison yesterday and I asked to speak to the warden, and whoever I talked to said he was in a meeting, and I told him while I was calling, and I said, I want to find out, I want to talk to somebody. I want to talk to the warden because I want to know what happened to my brother and I want some answers.
Rita says she has asked for camera footage, but she claims she was told there were no cameras in the area.
I've cried till my eyes are swollen, and I don't know. Everything's running through my mind. I can't comprehend what they saying has happened. It just don't make any sense. It wouldn't make no sense to any family.
And why he was out shoveling snow in early hours to begin with.
But we just don't understand why inmates would be out at 1-something in the morning shoveling snow around a cliff in a prison. I said, what snow are they to shovel? Everything's solid ice, and we just don't understand it.
Hoping to understand the full story sooner than later.
He had his flaws, with drugs, but he was a good person. He had a good heart.
Knuckles was serving a 12-year sentence for drug-related charges. In a news release from the Department of Corrections, all inmate deaths are reported to the Kentucky State Police. And WYMT reached out to the Correctional Center, but we were told to call Beth Moore with the Kentucky Department of Corrections, where the following statement was provided. Quote, Inmate Marvin Knuckles was assigned to the EKCC Minimum Custody Outside Detail Unit for good behavior. Inmates assigned to this unit outside the prison fence are provided opportunities to work several jobs. Knuckles was assigned to the following: tree farm, road crew, and special detail. When asked who was able to help with the special assignment of ice removal, Knuckles volunteered to assist, end quote. One Georgetown couple says they were terrified when a sheet of ice hit their windshield on their drive home. Christine Russell and her husband say they were driving on I-75 when out of nowhere they heard a loud crash, just to realize a massive sheet of ice flew off the car in front of them and smashing onto their windshield. Their windshield is now shattered. They say the sheet of ice was more than 2 feet long and thick.
It flew, boom, just like that. It came. It was really scary for me, being a passenger, thinking it was going to break and get into the driver, my husband.
Luckily, the Russells were not injured. However, law enforcement is reminding everyone to clear off your cars completely, including the roof, before you hit the road. West Virginia Governor Patrick Morrisey talked about the winter storm. The governor addressed the state's road crews who have been going virtually nonstop since the first snow fell Saturday evening.
Understand that Highways continues to go out and do everything imaginable to clear the roads, and they're well north of 500,000 miles that they've put in.
All 55 county school districts in West Virginia have either closed or had remote learning so far this week, and they are expecting more snow this weekend. Frozen water lines and pipes have kept One Lexington Plumbing busy this weekend. Willie Johnson, who is the master plumber for Bryant's Heating, Cooling, Plumbing, and Electric, says they are constantly going on calls, but the increased volume comes with the cold weather. Calls range from frozen pipes to backed up sump pumps. Many customers are also requesting plumbing inspections. He says this kind of check helps customers catch problems before it's too late.
If we can't do anything with pipes being frozen right now, we'll at least turn the water off so that when they thaw out, they're not going to have a spot where they have split open and just ruining the joist and the floor.
Okay.
Property damage is the main concern for the homeowners. Johnson says ice will back up water, causing the pipes to leak and flood crawl spaces. He recommends people insulate their water lines and control the airflow around their pipes. National Guard members in Lawrence County, Kentucky are volunteering their time to get people to life-saving care. National Guard members say they've been working with emergency management to get their routes on where to pick up patients. Sergeant Cole Carroll is from Bowling Green, Kentucky, and has been taking dialysis patients to their appointments and back home.
All of us are from the area, or at least from Kentucky, so we mostly see it as helping our fellow Kentuckians. So we're all out here because we want to be out here.
Emergency management says the people who need to receive dialysis travel from other counties, and the National Guard is going to come out of their way to help those people too. If you need to get in touch with the National Guard to help you get to your appointments, they say to call the Lawrence County Emergency Management. When this past weekend's winter storm left many folks inside for days, Bell County Superintendent Brian Crawford and Food Service Director Regina Collett made a plan. In just a few hours, teachers, administrators, support staff, and cafeteria staff worked to prepare more than 9,000 meals to send home with Bell County students.
I mean, a lot of the stuff that we would have for lunch that they can have the ready-to-eat meals rather than them having to cook. So.
Crawford says it is important to take care of students' basic needs so they are prepared to excel in the classrooms. It's been more than 10 days without clean running water for people who live in Wayne, West Virginia. This comes after authorities say an act of vandalism damaged an Appalachian Power substation, an oil linked to the creek and water supply. Officials with the West Virginia Department of Health and Environmental Protection say they're continuing contaminant and flushing efforts, but the weather has hampered that work. And while those officials say things are getting better, they still say there's no end in sight. Meanwhile, Wayne residents say they're struggling to get by, even with the town's bottled water distribution.
I mean, it's a struggle, you know, trying to figure out how to get everybody bathed and the chickens fed and watered, and we have some well water, but with the temperatures, I mean, it's frozen, so if we run the hose out, it just kind of like freezes in the hose. And we've got the animals, you know, not being able to do anything in the water is just, you know, it's stressful.
We've asked several questions to state agencies, including what they're doing to speed up the process and what they're doing to fight this weather. Those questions have still gone unanswered. And still to come, singer Chris Brown spent time in London courtroom this week. We'll catch you up in today's Eye on Entertainment report.
And a winter storm watch is in effect for some of our Virginia counties this weekend.